Hey guys, Eddie Mack, lead voice of the CAW Champions League here, and I am with one of the two challengers for the CCL World Championship coming up at Black Friday in the big 30-minute Ironman match. Two-time CAW All Stars champion, CAW All Stars Tag Team champion, and I believe, as of this recording, still the AWF World Heavyweight champion.
You are correct.
Of course, I'm talking about the legendary AJ Young. AJ, good to have you.
I could say it's good to be here, but you might as well let's just get down to it.
First I'm gonna go ahead and start off with the big news that broke. Uh, I think it broke either I want to say it broke either yesterday or the day before. The suspension that you have been on for along with Bradley and Sherman. Suspension that you were on for the last month and a half or so has been lifted, and you will be a part of Adrenaline episode 103 in a tag team match. You'll be teaming with Sherman Sampson to take on world champion Bradley Reynolds and the man that was responsible for getting that suspension lifted, Edward Elric. We're gonna get into all that in a bit. What have you been doing over the last month and a half since we saw you on Adrenaline 101?
I've been seething, Eddie. I've been chomping at the bit to get back to competition. Suspension? Suspension. You listed all my accolades. I have been vital to this industry, yet I get suspended? Eddie, I'm a competitor. I don't take time off. I've been training. I've been busting my hump to get in fighting shape, to stay in fighting shape. Because there's no slowing down AJ Young. There's no days off for AJ Young. So, Eddie, I've been watching, I've been training, and I've been waiting to get back to action. And at Adrenaline 103, that's exactly what I'm going to do.
How do you feel about teaming with one of your rivals in Sherman Sampson? I'm sure it's like a necessary evil, to get back in action. But how are you feeling about it? Are you happy about it, or a little pissed off about it? What are you feeling right now?
Well, I'll put it like this. Sherman Sampson isn't exactly a Facebook friend of mine. He won't exactly be coming over for dinner for Thanksgiving. That, I can tell you that much. Sherman Sampson, he and I, simply put, we aren't friends, but I've been in the ring with him. I was in the ring with him at Supernova where I almost beat him. Sherman Sampson, hell of a competitor, I have to admit. So if there's anybody in CCL that I like to have on my side, it's Sherman Sampson. But I'll be able to see and watch real close just how prepared he is for Black Friday.
And I guess that's my next subject, right? Black Friday. It will be you, Sherman, Bradley Reynolds, the final battle, a 30-minute Ironman match, a 30-minute three-way Ironman match with the CCL World Championship on the line. And, of course, I'm sure you've heard the stipulation, no rematch regardless of the outcome. What have you been doing to prepare for that match?
See, I don't want to reveal too much because the real champ's training regimen is the knowledge of the real champ and the real champ only. But I've been studying film. I've been watching very closely. I've been watching Supernova. I've been watching all of my matches with Bradley Reynolds and Sherman Sampson, seeing what I did well, seeing where I went wrong, and moving from there, seeing how I can move forward, seeing how I can get just a little bit better. No, not just a little bit better, to my best for Black Friday. I've been watching very closely to see what mistakes I made. Sherman Sampson, like I mentioned earlier, got this close to beating him until the so-called real thing got involved. And Bradley Reynolds, don't like him, but I have to admit, I have never beaten Bradley Reynolds in my career. So you best believe I'm looking to change that come Black Friday.
I'm sure you would. I'm sure you would rather beat either one, but let's just say one or the other. Who would you rather beat? in the deciding fall to win the world title? The man that beat you a supernova, or the man that you have never been able to beat in your career?
See, Sherman Sampson, hell of a competitor. Nothing against him as far as in-ring ability is concerned. But Bradley Reynolds, the way I see it, it's personal. He likes to call himself the real thing, which I take a lot of offense to, Eddie. You see, Bradley Reynolds, he doesn't know what that main event pressure feels like. I've known main event pressure my entire career. Bradley Reynolds fought tooth and nail to become the man for years. Bradley Reynolds is just now becoming a cornerstone of CCL. I've been the cornerstone of CAW/virtual wrestling, whatever you want to call it. I've been the cornerstone of this industry for about a decade. Main event pressure is something I thrive on. So Bradley Reynolds wants to parade himself around like he's the man, like that championship means anything around his waist. You best believe I would love to silence Bradley Reynolds' ego once and for all and get that monkey off my back.
I'm sure you've been getting some advice from the doctor. Seeing how you're a member of the doctor's order. Sure he's giving you some advice in regards to this into the three-way Iron Man match. Right?
You could say that. You see, Doc and I have a very special relationship. Doc and I go way, way, way back. Doc has always looked out for me. I've always looked out for Doc. So he's been giving me a little bit of advice, but do I want to reveal that? Do I want to reveal what I've been told looking into this matchup? Not really. But what I will say is that an Iron Man match is all about endurance. It's not a quick sprint. It's not just, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes. I do that night in and night out. This is 30 minutes where I'm worrying about not one, but two competitors. So it's simple. Run the race. Run your race. Run my race. All I have to do is outlast both of them, and that's something that I've made a career off of doing with every single person I've been in the ring with.
But here's the interesting thing, AJ. We all know your conditioning. We all know you're able to go 30 minutes, no problem. But at the big 100, you went 30 minutes, and it wasn't enough on that night. You went 30 minutes. You went 30 of the 43 minutes in that main event match for the world title, and it wasn't enough.
I have to admit that you're 100% right. It wasn't enough on that night in particular. The thing about it is, I have experience facing both Bradley Reynolds and Sherman Sampson at the same time. I went to the back and watched them kill each other for a world title that should have been mine. So going into this match, Eddie, what I'm going to do, I'm going to let Bradley Reynolds and Sherman Sampson kill each other. Because when it's all said and done and they've tired each other out, all I have to do is pick their bones and get my title.
I know this next question is uncomfortable, but let's be honest, the possibility is there. You don't win the world title at Black Friday. Where does AJ Young go from here?
Where does AJ Young go from here? This is going to be a very cliched answer, but failure at Black Friday simply isn't an option. I've come too far over the course of my career to not lose one big match, but to lose two big matches, only to lose three big matches in a row. Now, Eddie, you know me, Mr. CAW All Stars, that the CCL fan base and CCL management and CCL marketing branded as the outsider. going into the big 100. After everything that I've done for this community, I got branded the outsider. Not the guy who has accomplished more in a short span of time than Bradley Reynolds and Sherman Sampson have accomplished in decades. Not the multi-time CAW All Stars champion. Not the headliner. Not the main eventer. An outsider. Quite frankly, Eddie, I am going into Black Friday with the most to prove out of everybody. I want to prove that I belong. I want to prove myself as the insider of this industry. Because the way I look at it, CCL is the outsider. CCL seems to be the only place that isn't catching on to the fact that AJ Young is the standard in this industry. That AJ Young is the measuring stick and more in this industry. That AJ Young, night in, night out, is capable of main eventing and getting the results, getting the job done. It seems CCL is the only place that doesn't recognize that. So simply put, Eddie, failure for me is not an option. Where I go from here, it's simple. Work back to getting that world title. That's what I came to CCL for, and I'll be damned if I leave Black Friday without it.
I'll get you on here on this. Any last words you would like to say to your fans, your detractors, your critics? Anything you want to get out there?
Anything I want to get out there.
Anything you want to say?
Watch Black Friday very closely and in advance predict a changing of the guard. Not for Bradley Reynolds, not for Sherman Sampson, but for AJ Young. Bet on the right horse in advance, because when I'm holding that title, I will remember every single person that doubted me, every single person that has not placed me, not just in the upper echelon of the greatest names in the industry, but at the top as a shoe-in Hall of Famer. I will remember every single person that didn't give AJ Young his due. Because once the victory train sails, it will sail on without you. It will go down that track all the way to glory, all the way to the CCL Hall of Fame, all the way to immortality without you. So I bet on AJ you can.
AJ, nice talking with you. Good to see you.
Wish I could say the same.
And I do wish you the best of luck at Black Friday in that
Thank you.
argument.